The Leopard King's Curse Part 2. Another guard pointed at the Leopard King. And look, a leopard. Get your weapons ready. No. Oluchi cried, running in front of the Leopard King. Don't hurt him. The guards hesitated. Step away, Oluchi. That animal is dangerous. He's not dangerous. Oluchi stopped herself before she revealed the king's secret. He's injured. I've been helping him. The guards didn't believe her. They raised their spears, but before they could attack, the Leopard King roared so loudly that the cave trembled. The golden stone began to glow brighter, and the drawings on the walls seemed to come to life, moving and shifting. Suddenly, the guards dropped their weapons and ran out of the cave in fear. Oluchi turned to the Leopard King, her eyes wide with shock. What just happened? The spirits are protecting us, the king said. But they won't do it forever. We must leave this place before the queen and the rest of the guards return. Oluchi nodded, but deep inside, she knew the secret couldn't stay hidden much longer. The Leopard King and Oluchi left the cave quickly, taking a hidden path through the forest. The golden stone's glow faded behind them, and the drawings on the walls returned to stillness. When they were far enough from the cave, the Leopard King stopped. Oluchi, he said in his deep voice, you have done so much for me. But this secret will not remain hidden forever. I fear the truth will bring danger to you and my family. Oluchi shook her head. I'm not afraid, Your Majesty. I believe the spirits will guide us. Back in the village, Queen Aduk was furious when the guards returned empty-handed. What do you mean you saw a leopard? And where is the king? She demanded. The guard stammered, unsure how to explain the strange events in the cave. Meanwhile, Oluchi returned to the village quietly, trying to act normal. But that night, the queen confronted her. Young healer, the queen said, her voice sharp, I know you've been sneaking into the forest. Tell me what you know about the leopard. Oluchi hesitated. She didn't want to betray the king's trust, but she also didn't want to lie to the queen. Your Majesty, she said carefully, I can't explain everything right now. But I promise I'm only trying to help. Queen Aduk's eyes narrowed. If you're hiding something, I will find out. A few nights later, during the next full moon, the king disappeared again. But this time, Queen Aduk and Prince Tund followed him into the forest. They reached the clearing where he usually transformed, and what they saw left them speechless. Under the bright moonlight, Oba Ajoni changed into a leopard before their very eyes. Ajoni! Queen Aduk cried, her voice filled with shock and pain. The Leopard King turned and saw his wife and son. He lowered his head, ashamed. Prince Tund stepped forward cautiously. Baba, is this why you've been hiding from us? Oba Ajoni nodded. He couldn't speak in his leopard form, but his eyes were filled with sadness. Suddenly, Oluchi appeared from the shadows. Your Majesty, she said, running toward the Leopard King. Queen Aduk turned to her. You knew about this? Yes, Oluchi admitted. But I promised to help him. The curse can only be broken if someone shows him true kindness. Queen Aduk looked at her husband and then at Oluchi. He has always been a good king, but he has carried this burden alone for so long. How can we break this curse? Oluchi thought for a moment. The spirits will only accept kindness that comes from the heart. It must be selfless. At that moment, Prince Tund stepped forward. If kindness is what's needed, I will prove my love for Baba. The young prince knelt before the Leopard King, holding out his arms. You are my father, no matter what. I will protect you, even in this form. You've always been kind to us, and now it's our turn to show kindness to you. The Leopard King's eyes filled with tears, and a golden light began to glow around him. The ground trembled as the spirits' voices echoed through the forest. The curse has been broken, the spirits declared. True kindness has been shown. The Leopard King began to change. His fur disappeared, his claws became hands, and within moments, Oba Ajoni stood before his family, fully human once more. Queen Aduk ran to him and hugged him tightly. Prince Tund joined them, and even Oluchi smiled with relief. "Thank you, Oluchi," the king said. "Without your courage and kindness, I might have been cursed forever." The next day, the king gathered the villagers and told them everything. At first, they were shocked, but when they heard how Oluchi and Prince Tund had helped break the curse, they cheered for their bravery. To celebrate, the village held a grand feast under the moonlight. The king honored Oluchi by making her the royal healer, and she stayed in the palace to help the people with her herbs and wisdom.